You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I'm back. Rudrance for Black and White Sports 2. Well, yesterday, of course, I did a video over on the main channel, the big channel, that talked about the fact that there has been some significant outrage out there over the embarrassing trade of Deshaun Watson to the Cleveland Browns. And look, I got attacked yesterday, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine. I don't give a shit. But the fact is, I was asked, so nobody wants Baker, but you're shitting on Deshaun Watson. Well, we got two separate issues here. I'm not going to act like Deshaun Watson's quarterback skill set is not better than Baker Mayfield's. Of course it is. I guess he set out an entire year, but yeah, on the surface, if you compare the last time Watson played to when Baker has played, of course Deshaun Watson's quarterback skill set is better than Baker Mayfield's. But there are other things to playing franchise quarterback in the NFL, and one is intangibles, self-awareness, and things of that nature, and clearly Deshaun Watson is lacking in that department. Okay, and by the way, he's been accused of some pretty heinous shit, if you want to just pull back the curtain. So yeah, I would rather have Baker Mayfield than Deshaun Watson as my quarterback, or basically anyone else. I mean, I'm just being real here because, yeah, your ability to make sound decisions is part of being a franchise quarterback. It's ridiculous. Well, now Deshaun Watson, Florio has come out with another article, and he pointed something out that we've talked about in the past. It's the fact that the NFL personal conduct policy is, in fact, a catch-all when it comes to things like Deshaun Watson. A lot of people were like, well, I'm surprised the Texans, that he never got hit with a personal conduct policy violation and suspended by the league using that avenue. And the reason that never happened, and we've talked about this before, is because the league simply didn't have to. Okay, the Texans were not going to play Deshaun Watson, so the NFL didn't have to step in and use the personal conduct exempt list. Now, that's still very much on the table. Look, that's what I said yesterday. The Browns traded for this guy, and he's going to miss some time in some way, form, or fashion. That's going to happen. And look, like I said, the backlash is real. There are Cleveland Browns fans that are mad, and there's a hell of a lot of NFL fans that are mad. Okay? And there's a lot of reasons for that, but one, $230 million in guaranteed money for what looks to be a total and complete scumbag. Yeah, that's going to anger some fans. You're right about that. I mean, it's ridiculous. I don't understand how anybody gives a guy like this a pass. I don't. I don't get it. There are things more important than your team winning a game. Possibility of commissioner exempt list still looms for Deshaun Watson. Many assume that Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson eventually will be suspended for civil and criminal allegations that have been made against him. The number 22 civil complaints and 2 additional criminal complaints who did not sue Watson is large enough to be troubling on its face. Whatever the critical mass of complaints that will naturally cause concern, 24 is on the wrong side of it. The league knows this. Some have concluded that the failure of the league to take action against Watson means the league won't, at least not until the 22 civil cases are resolved. That's possibly a misreading of the situation. And this is where Florio is going to talk about what we've talked about at various times. The fact the league hasn't had to use this yet because the Texans weren't going to play him. Now, the Browns are obviously going to try to play him, and the league may say, no, we're going to put him on the personal commissioner's exempt list. And it's sort of a catch-all, too, by the way. The league has placed Watson hasn't placed Watson on the commissioner exempt list because it hasn't had to. He didn't try to play for the Texans in 2021. He wasn't traded to a new team that would have tried to put him on the field. Now with the Browns, he won't play until August at the earliest. The league has made the personal conduct policy more than broad enough to permit paid leave even in the absence of criminal charges. Quote, when investigation leads the commissioner to believe that a player may have violated this policy by committing any of the conduct identified above, the policy explains he may act where the circumstances and evidence warrant doing so. This decision will not reflect a finding of guilt or innocence and will not be guided by the same legal standards and considerations that apply to a criminal trial. The key words are, quote, may have violated, with 24 people accusing Watson of misconduct during massage therapy sessions, and Watson's lawyer admitting that some massage therapy sessions did indeed become voluntary encounters. There's enough for the commissioner to conclude Watson, quote, may have violated the personal conduct policy. Remember, Ben Roethlisberger was suspended 6 games. It was reduced to 4 in 2010 for 2 misconduct allegations, neither of which resulted in criminal charges. In 2017, Ezekiel Elliott was suspended for 6 games for domestic violence allegations that ended in neither criminal nor civil claims. The league can and will do whatever it chooses, and the decisions quite often will be driven not by the notions of fairness and justice, but by balancing the PR consequences of taking action or not taking action. On Monday, I suggested that the league should tell Watson that he can either settle the cases and take an unpaid suspension to start the season, or keep fighting the cases and be placed on paid leave until they are resolved. I now believe the league won't do that. The league won't do that because the league doesn't do that. It doesn't telegraph its plans or tip its hand. The league has learned keep its head low, keep its mouth shut in these matters as long as it can. The league will act when the time comes to act. And I'm currently confident that if 22 civil cases remain pending against Watson, when it's time to play games, Watson won't be playing in those games. Okay, so Florio, who's a lawyer, is coming out and saying that when it's time to snap the ball, Watson won't be on the field, either by way of suspension or being placed on the commissioner's exempt list. He won't be out there. He won't be out there. Now, it'll be maybe 2 different ways of doing it, and that's what he's saying. But the personal conduct policy is, quote, a catch-all for everything. That's a thing. Okay, so, again, Browns sold their soul. They gave up all this collateral. And look, good on the Texans for doing it. Great job. Nick Caserio hit it out of the park. But they gave up all this and gave up all this fully guaranteed money, and he's going to miss time. And he's probably going to miss a significant amount of time. Again, it's a terrible look that when Cleveland Browns fans are spiking donations into the Women's Crisis Center in Cleveland because of outrage, they are literally donating $22 for 22 civil lawsuits. That's a bad look for the Cleveland Browns, and it's a bad look in turn on the Shield. It just is. Tell me what you think, Black and White Sports 2 fans. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.